Anetons, connecting professionals.
So what I'm planning now, every session, end of the session, I will curate some sort of questionnaires. Okay, that I will also uh, throw in the Anectons group. Okay, where you already part of. So in that you will get a poll, WhatsApp poll. I think I did share. So वहाँ पे आपको अपने knowledge को test करना है, ठीक है? जो भी आपको आता है that you put there. Also, I'm framing out these questions in the text or document format that I will share you in the class. Okay, so having that in your like each session day by day, आपको पता चलेगा कि इस कोर टॉपिक से क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाता है और उस कोर टॉपिक का क्या क्या आंसर होना चाहिए. ओके, टेक्निकली भी मैं बताऊंगा आपको क्या आंसर होना चाहिए एंड ऑल्सो इन द रिटन फॉर्मेट. एक वीडियो अपलोड किया मैंने, जाके देख लेना एनएक्टेंस पे. उसमें व्हाई यू वांट टू चेंज योर जॉब और इन द आईटी करियर, ये बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन होता है. तो उसको किस तरह से आपको फ्रेम करना है, मैंने खुद से ट्राई किया रिकॉर्ड करके एक्सप्लेन करने का. तो just go and watch that video, and whatever podcast or whatever shorts I'm putting for the interview questions, you must visit that. Why? Because there are so many things. बहुत सारी चीजें होती है जो हम भूल जाते हैं, बट जब आप एक बार रिव्यू करोगे उसको तो आपको पता चलेगा कि ये क्वेश्चंस का क्या क्या रिलेटिव आंसर होना चाहिए. यू नो यू आई नो आप लोग प्रोफेशनल हो, आपके पास एक्सप्लेनेशन है ऑलरेडी, बट थोड़ा उसको और मॉडिफाई करके डिप्लोमेटिकली कैसे बोला जाता है चीजों को. आउट ऑफ माय एक्सपीरियंस आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू फ्रेम इट आउट. ओके, तो उसका डेफिनेटली सीक दैट हेल्प. सो व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग विद, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग फॉर इंटरव्यू, ensure कि you are very much in depth, you know, thorough knowledge about the product and about the parts core areas. ठीक है, एंड मैं इस यहाँ पे लैब में आई विल ट्राई टू मेक न्यूमरस थिंग्स कि ऐसा करने से क्या होता है, वैसा करने से क्या होता है, अगर ये हटा देंगे सेटिंग तो क्या होगा, अगर ये सेटिंग प्लेस कर देंगे क्या होगा. तो इट विल बी हैंड्स ऑन, इट विल बी वेरी मच इंटरेक्टिव. ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं इसको थोड़ा और फन एलिमेंट्स ऐड कर सकूं ताकि आप लोगों को और चीजें इजीली समझ आए. ठीक है, तो जैसे मैंने बताया लास्ट की एमडीएम और एमएएम के बारे में. So one of the candidates is trying to connect but having some problem. Okay, तो what I was saying कि जैसे जैसे हम आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे मैं क्वेश्चंस बताते जाऊंगा और वैसे वैसे आपको उसको अटेंड करना, उन क्वेश्चंस को उनका आंसर देना है. ऑलराइट, एंड इफ देयर इज एनी okay, unable to join, can I have the link? Okay, so let me share the link. Don't know why.
Is Lakshmi?
Hi Lakshmi, thanks for joining. Was there any problem with the link?
No, I just clicked on a link and I not even used this code also, so it is directly join me. Yes.
Yeah, I did modify something and I thought of sharing the meeting ID as well. So okay, let everyone join. Okay, so I was just discussing overall कि मैंने क्या लास्ट सेशन में पढ़ाया था. ठीक है, और इस सेशन में जो भी अब आगे से जो भी पढ़ाया जाएगा, जो भी मैं बताऊंगा उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस बनाऊंगा, उस क्वेश्चंस को मैं फ्रेम करूंगा. दूसरा, एनेक्टेंस के यूट्यूब चैनल पे आपको इंटरव्यू से रिलेटेड जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं इन जनरल, मतलब टेक्निकल छोड़ के, उसको कैसे टैकल करना है, उसको कैसे जवाब देना है. जैसे एक अभी मैंने रिसेंटली पोस्ट किया है कि व्हाई यू वांट टू चेंज योर जॉब और करियर, तो उसका एक सॉलिड एक्सप्लेनेशन अगर आप दोगे तो सामने वाला कन्विंस हो जाएगा. ठीक है, अगर आप वेग दोगे, और कोशिश करना कि कभी भी अपने प्रीवियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में, किसी चीज के बारे में, मैनेजर के बारे में या एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में कभी भी बैड माउथ मत करो, क्योंकि उससे सामने वाले को एक बैड इंप्रेशन जाता है कि दिस गाय इज वेरी मच you know mediocre, or he's just playing around, he's just wanting to get the extra hike and all, he's just condemning everyone and his persona is not that good. So they see you overall as a human being, and then they see you as a professional, and then they see you as an expert. Okay, so try to be humble as much as you can and try to be to the point. Okay, and your confidence talks much okay, in interviews, because for me, I have like 16, 17 years of experience, and I have changed like 9, 10 companies. So overall, out of my experience, I'm telling you, never try to condemn your, कभी भी किसी मैनेजर के बारे में, किसी कलीग, एनवायरनमेंट, एचआर, किसी के बारे में भी कुछ भी बुरा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है? और जब भी बोल रहे हैं कि व्हाई यू वांट टू चेंज, तो ऑलवेज स्टिक टू योर career goal, your professional growth, and try to, wherever you go for the interview, okay, ensure कि you are having a very thorough knowledge about the company domain, and what is the revenue, and how much is your pay scale, okay, in your bracket, how much is the salary is given to other candidates. Okay, for me, if I say at my level as a EUC manager and architect, Intune architect, I'm SCCM architect, then I know a service now also, and Azure cloud computing. So for me, my bracket, I know कि I should be getting in this bracket. Okay, if there is if and but, so you can justify. Okay, but before going that, I think ambition box पे आपको ये सारा data मिल जाएगा. If not, then you have chat gpt, another source of information, so where you can simply put the details. परप्लेक्सिटी है जहाँ पे आपको पूरा डिटेल में मिल जाएगा चीजें. को पायलट है, तो you can seek for numerous ways to get the company details, and before going for any interview, see, as soon like जैसे मैं बोलूंगा, आप मिड में जैसे कोर्स में पहुंचोगे ना, I will suggest you guys to start giving the interviews. Okay, तो उसमें क्या होगा, आपका जो नॉलेज है वो आपको पता चलेगा कि आप कितना समझ चुके हो, कितना आपको आता है, कितना आपको ग्रैस्प करना है. और इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस ऐसे होंगे जो शायद आप आंसर नहीं कर पाओ. तो everyone cannot be versatile. You cannot have everything in your mind. Sometimes it happens कि you forget something. Okay, so but it's okay, but try to tackle that. You have worked, just answer देना कि you have worked on this, but okay, fine. So we'll talk on this more. I'll conduct a separate interview session for Intune, and I'll give you all sort of questions with their answers, technical jargons, कहाँ पे क्या चीज करने से क्या होता है, everything we'll talk about it. Okay, so don't worry. Let's start. So I hope PPT दिख रही है, right? Deck is over clear to everyone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So आज का एजेंडा बता देता हूँ मैं. आज का एजेंडा क्या है? आज हम बात करने वाले हैं इंट्यून डिवाइस एनरोलमेंट के बारे में. ठीक है, क्या किस किस तरह के एनरोलमेंट टाइप होते हैं और कैसे एनरोलमेंट किया जाता है. देन वी विल टॉक अबाउट डिवाइस प्रॉपर्टी, कि क्या क्या डिवाइस की प्रॉपर्टीज होती है. ठीक है, कंप्लायंस पॉलिसी कैसे करते हैं डिवाइस पे सेट, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन प्रोफाइल कैसे सेट करते हैं. ठीक है, कंडीशनल एक्सेस कहाँ पे अप्लाई करते हैं, क्यों अप्लाई करते हैं, किसको पहले रखना चाहिए, इंट्यून की कॉन्फ़िगरेशन पॉलिसी को या कंडीशनल पॉलिसी को. विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. ओके, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंसेस इन बिटवीन बोथ ऑफ देम, दैट विल टॉक. Then we'll talk about the app deployment and app protection, okay, which is part of MAM. So we'll discuss that. Then I will explain you about the Windows Update Ring. Key, how does Windows Update Rings work, what it is, and how does this framed. Then we will have a demo of एक Android device का हम demo करेंगे. ठीक है, enrollment. And then we will try to check RBAC rules for admins कैसे set कर सकते हैं, and few general troubleshooting tips. Okay, then we'll do the retire of the device and we'll see how does that work. Okay, so this is agenda for today, and let me start without a wait. So first thing, let me explain about the functional chart. Okay, if you can see Microsoft Intune, so I just decoded it. Okay, so here what do you see, डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट में क्या क्या आता है. तो डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट में यू हैव विंडोज, यू हैव iOS, you have Android, and you have macOS. Okay, Linux is also part of it, but we are not discussing because that's not in our environment, and if it is there, it will be very limited in scope. Okay, so you can only do some sort of scripting and that's it. And enrollment type we will check. Okay, so how does Apple enrollment works, how does the zero touch works, and what about the Android enrollment process. We'll talk about this, and what is device category and groups, why do we need it. Okay, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. फिर हम बात करेंगे ऐप मैनेजमेंट के बारे में. तो ऐप मैनेजमेंट जैसे पता है कि एप्लीकेशंस को कैसे प्रोटेक्ट करना है, वी विल डू इट थ्रू मैम. ओके, और ऐप डिप्लॉयमेंट कैसे करना है, जैसे हम वेब एप्स को इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, गूगल प्ले को इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, एंड वी हैव other like iOS app store likewise. So we will talk about that as well, and we'll see how the integration will work when we are availing these services from Google and uh, you know Google and iOS. So how would we integrate things and how would you do? So एक चीज पूछना चाहता हूँ before we start. Everyone has signed up for developer account.
Yes, Vibhav.
Okay, okay, fine. So when you have signed up, so you will have a something 90 days for trial. Okay, in this 90 days trial, we will we will play around with things. Okay, so here with deployment, we'll understand the flowchart as well. How does the integration will work, and how would you integrate with Google, and how would you integrate your configuration policies? Okay, everything is lined up. Then you security standpoint, you will seek for your antivirus policies. Okay, firewall rules and disk encryptions, file vault, and if they have any surface, then how would you create the reduction rules to mitigate the attacks on the surface, and security baseline. Okay, so these comes into endpoint security. Conditional access, here you create compliance policies. Okay, this falls into this bracket. So compliance and conditional access में आता है compliance policy. ठीक है, device का risk evaluation करना है, कैसे device जेल ब्रोकन तो नहीं है, डिवाइस का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम ओल्ड तो नहीं है, डिवाइस पे सेट ऑफ पासवर्ड्स लगे हैं कि नहीं, वो सारा कुछ इवैल्यूएशन करना है. ठीक है, और इंटीग्रेशन विद Azure कंडीशनल एक्सेस, तो ये हम समझेंगे. फिर नॉन कंप्लायंस एक्शन क्या होता है अगर डिवाइस कंप्लायंट नहीं है, राइट. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन प्रोफाइल्स, तो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन प्रोफाइल के बारे में समझेंगे कि डिवाइस रिस्ट्रिक्शंस कैसे लगाते हैं, वाईफाई, वीपीएन, ईमेल प्रोफाइल्स कैसे बनती हैं, और कैसे इसको दीज आर एक्चुअली कॉन्फ़िगरेशन प्रोफाइल्स इज नथिंग, इट जस्ट simply understand this is a configuration. ठीक है, configuration of settings for that particular device. Okay, nothing more than that. तो ज्यादा उसमें कंफ्यूज होने की जरूरत नहीं है. It is profile is something which is on the user profile, that is different, and this is whatever the GPU that you were doing on prem पे जो भी अभी तक group policies बनाते थे, that is the same here as well. Okay, it's just the naming convention, the name has changed. Okay, and then we will see the ADMX settings. Okay, and how we can deploy. So this is in configuration profiles, and some sort of administrative templates. So these templates are predefined, you just need to tweak according to your environments and your device settings, whatever you want, and you can inculcate that in this. Okay, रिपोर्टिंग एंड एनालिटिक्स के अंदर क्या आता है, डिवाइस कंप्लायंस रिपोर्ट्स आप देख सकते हैं, सारा एप्लीकेशन कितना इंस्टॉल है, नहीं है, डिस्कवर्ड ऐप कौन कौन से उस डिवाइस पे, वो सारा कुछ. ठीक है, और एंड पॉइंट एनालिटिक्स कि ऐप का परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, उसकी रिलायबिलिटी क्या है, एंड ऑल दैट वी कैन चेक. एंड इंट्यून डेटा वेयरहाउस, ये हम बाद में डिस्कशन करेंगे. ओके, इट्स वेरी ह्यूज टॉपिक, सो विल हैव अ डिफरेंट सेट. और इंटीग्रेशन एंड ऑटोमेशन, इसमें आप कैसे Azure को इंटीग्रेट करते हो, आज इसके बारे में डिस्कशन करेंगे. कनेक्टर के बारे में आई जस्ट गिव यू ओवरव्यू. कनेक्टर नेक्स्ट क्लास में रखा, कल के सेशन में रहेगा, जिसमें पूरा ओवरऑल कनेक्टर के बारे में डिस्कशन करेंगे. ठीक है, और डिफेंडर फॉर एंड पॉइंट इंटीग्रेशन ये होगा, और को मैनेजमेंट फॉर SSM, को मैनेजमेंट विल टॉक लेटर. ठीक है, जब हम विंडोज ऑटो पायलट के बारे में बात करेंगे. और ग्राफ API और पावर ऑटोमेट. ठीक है, ये इंटीग्रेशन कब करते हैं, जब आपको मल्टीपल API से बात करनी होती है, उस सेंस में ये सारा कुछ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करते हैं. ठीक है, तो यहाँ तक क्लियर है, राइट? दिस इज योर फंक्शनल चार्ट। तो इंट्यून के अंदर ये सारी चीजें आती हैं कवर, ठीक है? तो इसमें कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए इसको ब्रेक किया गया है डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ में, ठीक है? नाउ डिवाइस एनरोलमेंट के बारे में समझेंगे। तो व्हाट इज एनरोलमेंट ऑल अबाउट? लास्ट सेशन में शायद बताया था जब हम इंट्रोडक्शन की बात कर रहे थे। डिवाइस एनरोलमेंट क्या होता है? एनरोलमेंट मतलब व्हाट इज दिस?
Enrollment is nothing. mm, yeah. Enrollment is nothing but the configuration of the set of application along with OS.
So configuration enrollment means onboarding of the device. Okay, so first step is what you need to allow that device to be part of your enterprise so it can communicate with the Intune services. Okay, so this is where you, once your device is enrolled, means enrollments means what? You working in the organization, right? As soon you got the offer letter, okay, and you signed it up, then they say that this is your login credential, this is your ID and all. So means your enrollment is done. Okay, your enrollment is started, means you are now part of that organization. So likewise device enrollment, जब device का को आप अपने इंटरप्राइज में चेक इन देते हो, उसको अलाउ करते हो, उसको एक्सेस देते हो, that is the process called Intune, that is process of enrollment. Okay, so after enrollment, now once you part of the company, you need to follow their set of rules and policies, right? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप ऑफिस में जा रहे हो बिना एक्सेस आईडी कार्ड के आप एक्सेस कर सकते हो चीजों को, या दैट इज कॉल्ड कंडीशनल एक्सेस। ओके, तो बिना एक्सेस के आप एंट्री नहीं कर सकते, बिना ऐसे भी उल्टे सीधे कपड़े पहन के आप ऑफिस में नहीं आ सकते। यू हैव अ डेडिकेटेड डेस्क जहाँ पे आपको बैठ के काम करना है। आप ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पैर ऊपर करके आराम से बैठ रहे हो, कोई भी आ रहा है, आप कुछ भी पहन के आए हो, आप हेडफोन ला के गाना गा रहे हो, नहीं। So you have a set of instructions given and that you need to follow. So likewise device enrollment में क्या होता है? Devices also, when we are enforcing the policies for their management of applications and other settings, so that device should also obey the settings. Okay, if they are not following, then it will not be like those devices will be falling in non-compliant zone. Okay, so that is one thing. सो प्रीरेक्स क्या है डिवाइस एनरोलमेंट के? जैसे अगर हम एप्पल की बात करें, iOS की बात करें, मैक ओएस की बात करें, ठीक है, तो वहां पे हमें एक एपीएन लगता है, ठीक है? एपीएन इज कॉल्ड एप्पल पुश नोटिफिकेशन सर्वर। ओके, ये सर्वर क्या करता है? इंट्यून डायरेक्ट बात नहीं कर सकता एप्पल डिवाइसेस से, ठीक है? iOS डिवाइसेस से बात नहीं कर सकता, रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है। तो उसके लिए उसको सहारा लेना पड़ता है एप्पल एपीएन सर्वर का, ठीक है? और एपीएन सर्वर क्या करता है? एक सर्टिफिकेट इशू करता है, उस सर्टिफिकेट को एक्सचेंज करना पड़ता है इंट्यून में। इंट्यून को अपना सर्टिफिकेट देना पड़ता है एपीएन को, एपीएन को अपना सर्टिफिकेट देना पड़ता है इंट्यून को। फिर जब ये एक्सचेंज हो जाता है तो फिर वो कम्युनिकेशन स्टैब्लिश्ड होता है, वो चैनल बनता है जिसके थ्रू इंट्यून को जो भी कुछ कहना है वो अपने एपीएन से कहता है, एपीएन फिर अपने लोगों में बात करता है वो, ठीक है? तो ये एक सिक्योरिटी मैकेनिज्म है, सिक्योरिटी वे ऑफ सेटिंग सिक्योरिटी है एप्पल की तरफ से। तो एक तो चीज आपकी ये हो गई एप्पल के डिवाइसेस से बात करने के लिए, ठीक है? दूसरा हो गया आपको आपके यूजर को अप्रोप्रिएट लाइसेंस देना होगा, या तो E3 या E5, ठीक है? तो मोस्टली हर कंपनीज के पास ये लाइसेंसेस रहते हैं, ठीक है? आप जब ऑनबोर्ड करते हो किसी यूजर
Yeah,
को,
Vaibhav, this is Lakshmi here. So, yeah,
Yeah.
please speak in English because I couldn't understand completely in Hindi. I'm sorry.
oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay, sorry. All right, so let me explain it in English also. So what happens when you having when you're doing the enrollment? So this especially I'm talking about the iOS devices, okay? iOS or Mac OS, okay, or iPad OS. So in these cases this APN is required, okay? So this APN, what it does, this This is a responsible server which allows Intune to connect to iOS devices. Okay, so for example, if I say this is Intune, okay, and this is APN server, okay, and this is iOS devices, okay. So Intune cannot talk to these devices over the air, okay. So what he needs to do, he need to route it this, okay, and from here this communication goes here. So in between this, what APN should do, it gives you a certificate, okay, and then Intune exchange that certificate, okay. uh, so what it does, in APN gives you let me change the color so we can have. So what APN does, okay, it gives the certificate, and then same certificate it passes to APN. Once these certificate are exchanged, okay, once these are exchanged between both, okay, then the certificate issuing authority confirms that yes, now the channel is open, okay, and through this channel, uh, there is a communication going to happen, okay. So without that, so now what, once the exchange is done, Intune will talk to these devices, but only through APN, okay, only through the APN. So it cannot talk directly. It just need to connect to APN, tell that this is what I want, and then APN goes here and then talks. So we'll talk in a separate in the next slide, okay. Second thing is, what do you require? You require to have E3 licenses or E5. Okay, so if I say E3 or E5, these are the licenses which are required. So in your organization, every enterprise is using these licenses terms, and when user is getting onboarded, they are directly being issued the licenses. I'll see if I can show you in my environment. So this is the first and foremost requirement, okay. This is the prerequisites. If the requisites not followed, you will not able to give the access to that end user, so he will not be able to enroll the devices, okay. So that's the thing. And with if you're also going with business Apple Business Manager or manual enrollment via the company portal, still you require this APN stuff, okay, for iOS devices. So ensure that you are compliant, okay. So this is, we will try to set in the environment, and this one is needed for your MDM authority, okay. So you need to set the scope for MDM authority. Your Intune should be there as a Intune authority, as an issuing certificate, you know maybe mechanism, or MDM solution through which only the communication MDM and MAM communication will be established. If not, then without MDM authority set, you will not be able to enroll any devices, okay. So these are the prereqs, right? requirement. If I say requirements, it has to be utilized rotational. So every 30 days you need to change this schedule. This will be persons who are on the trusted network and locations which my company knows about it. So this is the location wise device details. So differences between how and where it works. So first of all, you are setting the compliance policy. So ensure whenever you are setting any things, okay, you are setting these parameters first. Okay, so this will be processed first before, and this will be processed later. Okay, after your device is checked, enrolled. So this is something which is not compulsory. Okay, I would say it's not compulsory that you should have it, but this is something which is compulsory. You should have it. Okay, without that, your device state will be at toss. You must enforce the policies, and this is especially when you want to enforce certain policies which are mandatory, and you need to mandate those, then you do it. And this is just for as an admin, I just need to see the device status. How does where does this device falls in? Whether is it in compliant mode, non-compliant? So what is the compliance? Why it's not meeting in compliance and all those stuff. Okay, so ensure you first, you know, ensure you first you do the configurations part of thing. Okay, but compliance is also necessary. So compliance is something depends upon your organization, but I know every organization is following the compliance is something like in your organization, if you're not uh, completing any set of you know what I say trainings or something, okay, then you will be non-compliant. So that hits your goal settings and your goal performance. Now everyone is doing performance goals, so you guys need to adhere those trainings as well, which are very basic, but you need to complete those. So likewise, so compliance is there. It's not necessary, but it has to be there. Okay. So this is configuration settings and publishing apps. Tomorrow we will run through apps and we will see how we can push an application for the user and how we can ensure that user getting those when we're doing the enrollment for that device. Okay, here. So we will do all these sort of things. Okay. Next, we will try to set the app protection and configuration policies to see how we can restrict users to copy paste the data or take the screenshot of the device and all these. So we will restrict that. And device enrollment, we will do this tomorrow. Windows update rings. What I'll see, I'll just give you. Today, I'm just taking this, demo because it takes demo sort of things and which takes time. So today I just want to give you the heads up how things works. So Windows update is something which is like a automated thing, auto patch sort of things. You don't need to do anything manual. Okay, so if I go to this and I'll show you like what happens here. So for example, if I have this my organization, okay, and in my organization there are uh, various sort of thing, and so I'm sorry, let me create line first. Okay, so this is what it is, and this is the big chunk of my organization. Okay, and this is a small chunk of organization, and this is the very small. Okay, so the rings, if you see the ring, it says like ring 0. Okay, ring 0 and 1. So zero means you are only targeting the small amount of the devices, okay, in your organization. and you are not setting things. So update rings, if you go update rings, you create the profile, maybe updates for Windows, and click next. So it gives you option like, would you like to create the Microsoft product updates? Updates is like Outlook, uh, Teams, and others, Excel, and all those. So I just don't want to do this, right? Windows, because they that might conflict later. So we just pushing it from the apps section side. Windows driver, we just don't want to do those driver updates from here, because you don't know, you never know, because which driver is coming and conflicting the environment. So that's what you don't want to keep this. Referral quality update deferral period, like if the updates are getting installed, then how soon can you defer this, means you can uninstall these. So we can have these checked, and we can update these setting. And feature update uninstall means I'm just upgraded from my Windows 10 to Windows 11, but how many days can I uninstall that feature, because I don't need it? So maybe 45 days I can do this. Now this is what I'm talking about, pre-channel. So in dev, beta, and Windows Insider. So dev channel is something which is like pre-releases. Okay. uh, so pre-release is something, okay, I think my drawings are gone. So pre-release is something that comes the first portion of it. Okay. So here you see the uh, device with 0. Okay. This is, it comes 0 as ring 0, and then you proceed with ring 1. Okay, which you covers some sort of extra devices in your enterprise, and see how the impact is. And then it says 2. Okay, ring 2, and then ring 3. So this is how you define the rings in your environment, and this is how you set. The first ring is something like pilot, second thing ring is something for the very limited people maybe, and then you do general adoption, like general adopter for all other people, and then you do the production deployment for the mass. Okay, so this is, you understand the patterns and behavior in 0 and 1. You see if the impact is crucial, or if there is any changes you need to revert. So you don't need to hit the entire mass, but you can restrict it to the very minimal devices itself. And auditing and all we will do tomorrow. Okay, we will run the demo, we'll check, and we'll also create a custom rules, and we'll see how does thing work. Okay, and general troubleshooting, I'll check and see you how I'm going to do a general troubleshooting for the user and device, and see how things work. So this is coming from the last slide. That's it. And course structure is something I just wanted to give you a heads up. So we covered this this today. Okay, tomorrow I add it here as a demo. Okay, and demo, we will try to cover all these compliance policies tomorrow, and then we will see if we can cover AD sync, AD connect. Okay, through which we can connect our tenant with on-prem, and we can establish a sync, and we'll try to create a user on on-prem and see how the synchronization happens. Okay, so these are the tomorrow's part, and we are still there with types of enrollment. I already talked about it. So we will see the next, we will talk about the autopilot deployment more in deep, and we will see what sort of prereqs and other stuff is required. Okay, so that's it for today. A quick recap, just for uh, recap, we talked about the device enrollment, we talked about the prereqs, we talked about the flowchart of Android, Apple, Windows Autopilot, we talked about the compliance settings, what settings do we check, and settings for the configuration policies, device conditional access, we talked about it. We talked about the differences. So what, like, compliance should come first, then conditional access should come later. Publishing apps and all, we'll do it tomorrow. We will do a thorough demo for everything, and we'll see how things work. We'll check with the auditing, custom RBAC rules, general troubleshooting, what things do you check, and course structure. And so, any questions, any doubt for anyone? If not, we can have a questions and answer tomorrow once we doing the live demo. Then you will have multiple things in your mind. Then you can vocal and you can questions me like what's happening, why is this, and we'll try to tweak settings. If we see we disable something, then we'll see what is the behavior on the device itself. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. And let's connect tomorrow. And let's see. Try to be prepare your environment today itself. Then we can whatever I'm teaching you tomorrow, just try to replicate on your environment and see. And if you're getting any sort of trouble, don't hesitate. Question me on that. Okay.
Yeah,
Vaibhav,
sure.
just
Thank
a
you.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we have enroll for the development lab. Okay, M365 developer thing, but
Yep.
we yet to get any update. Like they are still saying we are validating your profile.
Okay, sometimes it takes 1 day or 2 days to validate. For me, it like took me 1.5 day and then they confirmed. So you need to wait for some time. Okay, it will be approved. Don't worry.
Okay.
The deck maybe unsend the this document. Okay. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.